Welcome back. In previous video, we have discussed what is a lambda expression and the syntax of lambda expression. Like it is an anonymous function without name, return type, and modifiers. And the syntax would be like parentheses or parameters, input parameters, and this symbol and the method body. So today we will discuss how we can call the lambda expressions. How to call lambda expression. First, before calling the lambda expressions, first we need to know about what is a functional interface. Functional interface. Function interface is nothing but an interface with single abstract method. An interface with single abstract method. Such type of interfaces are by default considered as function interfaces. Let's see like what are the examples which are having the function for the function interfaces which are having a single abstract method. Like we have the runnable interface. In that we have only one method called as run, and we have the comparable interface which consisting of only single abstract method, nothing but compare to, and we have comparator interface which consisting of only single abstract method with compare method, and so on. We have one thing you need to remember always is to invoke a lambda expression, then compulsory functional interface must be required to invoke lambda expression, then compulsory function interface must be required. So now we are aware like what is a lambda expression and the syntax of lambda expression and what is a function interface. Now we will see how we can call the lambda expression with the function interface. So as we are aware like what is a function interface and function interface with single abstract method. Does this function interface can contain non-abstract method? There is one thing you need to remember. This function interface can contain any number of default and static methods. We will discuss with default and static methods in the future videos. Only this rule is applicable only for the abstract method. To consider the interface as a abstract function interface, compulsory this interface should contain only single abstract method and any number of default and static methods. So is there any way how we can represent the function interface with an annotation? There is an annotation which can represent the interface function interface with the help of functional interface. Whenever we specify this annotation at the top of the class, the compiler will automatically detect the interface as a functional interface. So then we cannot declare more number of abstract methods since we specified this interface as a functional interface with using the annotation. If you want to specify, we can specify using this annotation. It was introduced in the Java 1.8 version. So now let's go to an example. We'll close all of these. Here we'll create a new package with lambda expression. So inside the lambda expression, just I'll create a new class, nothing but functional interface. Just I want to make a demo. I just want to create an interface. So Java 8 has introduced a new annotation at the rate functional interface. We can import this. Here it is automatically using, like, since default methods can have implementation, they are not abstract. An interface declares an abstract method overriding one of the public methods. At all, if we want, we can read the complete notes of it. Here, why it is showing an error? Because we have mentioned specifically like this interface is a functional interface, but we don't have any abstract method here. That's the reason it is showing an compile error. Automatically the ID is showing as an error. So we can declare one public method, and I'll just abstract method demo. So if you see here, now we are not getting any warnings. As we have discussed, like for this function interface, we can it should contain only single abstract method. Here we have only single abstract method, and it can contain any default and static methods. So for let's declare one default method. How we can using default void default method demo. Similarly, we can declare a static method, static void static method demo. So apart from abstract method, we also have default and static methods declared in our interface. So here at the rate function interface is an optional. Is optional. And what is the advantage of using this annotation is if you are not making any mistake, then immediately, sorry, if you are making any mistake, then immediately compiler will alert us. So let's comment it out, then it will automatically showing us in warning, like here there is an issue. Since you declared this interface as function interface, there is no abstract method. That's the reason it's showing as a warning. So now we will discuss the function interface with respect to the inheritance. Functional interface with respect to inheritance. As you all know, aware of like what is an inheritance. Parent class is extended by the child class. It's nothing but a simple inheritance, like acquiring the properties from parent to child. So for that, what we can do is we'll close this and we'll create a new class. It's nothing but parent interface. So in the parent interface, I'll just create as a function interface. I'll declare one method called abstract method demo. So here we have only single abstract method. If there is no default and static methods also, then that is also fine. It is an optional to use other than a single abstract method. So now we will declare one more interface, which is a child interface. So if you want to extend it from the parent interface, here we can specify. If you see here, we are not getting any error because here you need to remember, if a parent interface is a function interface, then child interface is also a function interface automatically if you are not providing any abstract method inside the child interface. Suppose if you are providing any method, different method, then automatically this child interface is having two abstract methods. That's the reason it is showing as the warning, like since it is mentioned explicitly with the help of annotation as function interface, when two methods are detected inside this class, automatically it is showing as a warning for us. So that's the reason you should not declare more abstract methods when you explicitly mention the interface as a functional interface. I hope this is helpful for you. We'll just create this nodes. Here what is the node is, if parent interface is functional interface, then child interface is also a functional interface automatically, if and only if we are not providing any abstract methods inside the child interface. I hope you got this a clear understanding. Like if the child is also having a single abstract method, then only it is considered as function interface. If we are extending it from the parent, automatically we can override the parent method. That means by default, whenever we are extending, automatically that method is automatically present inside our parent, sorry, inside our child from the parent. So since our child interface is also having a single abstract method, so this is considered as a function interface. If we want to use the same method, we can use the at the rate override as well in the child interface. Since here we are Here parent and child interface are function interfaces, because child interface we are overriding the parent interface abstract method, and we are not creating any new method, so this is also valid case. So in the parent interface we have the same method, and child interface also we have same method, but just we have overridden the same method name inside our child interface. And we will see how to implement this interface, sorry, lambda expressions. So for this we will just create a new interface, which is nothing but a test interface. Inside this interface we will declare one method, abstract method demo. If we want, we can mention it as a functional interface, just for telling the compiler that it is an abstract, sorry, it is an function interface. Since we have our abstract method and function interface, now we will create our test class, test functional interface demo. Inside this class we'll just create a main method, and for this we just need to call our class and implement this. So for this what we will do is we will just create a simple class which just implements. We have the test interface service class which implements the test interface. That means we just need to implement the method. So just we will write demo method executed. Just what we have did is we have created one test interface abstract method, sorry, test interface function interface, and that in that we have created a abstract method demo, which is an abstract method. So by default this interface is called as a function interface. So we have created a test interface service which implements the test interface. So inside the test function interface demo we have created one more class. Here we'll call the method. How we will call this method is we have the test interface service. The test interface server, I'll create a service, I'll create a new object for this, and I'll just call the test interface service dot abstract method demo. Now we will execute this method. If you see here, test interface service abstract method executed. This is a normal approach how we do it. So here one more thing we can do is, instead of test interface service we can use another approach as well. We can use the test interface as well. We can use the parent reference to hold the child reference as well. This is like parent reference can be used to hold child object. As you are aware, like test interface is the parent class and test interface service is the child class which is implementing the test interface. So here we can use the test interface reference to hold the child object, and we can execute the same method. If you see here, again the output should be same. So now we will see how to implement, how to use the lambda expression to implement the abstract method for functional interface. Here we will see using the lambda expression to implement the abstract method for functional interface. First thing, we just created a function interface and we have implemented the class. We have implemented this method using the class, and we are just calling the method from from the normal Java program. So now instead of implementing the method, we will just use the function interface. This same thing can be achieved using the function interface. So just we copy paste, we close all other tabs inside the function interface, just we copy paste the entire thing. As you are aware, like what is a function interface, right? This method we can remove all this and you can use the symbol, and since there is only one statement inside our method body, we can directly use this. So for this, as you are already aware, like how to create a lambda expression from the normal method, like removing all the function name, return type, and access modifiers. We removed everything and just we implemented the body. But you are aware, like to invoke a lambda expression, compulsory function interface must be required, right? Here, what is our function interface? Test interface is our function interface. So test interface is our function interface. So for this function interface, just we need to assign the reference. So since we have the test function interface object, directly we can invoke the abstract method demo. If you see here, using the lambda expression. So if you see here, this reference will execute. Okay, the first method is executed using the normal object, and this is executed using the functional interface object. If you see here, directly we have implemented the lambda expression. So to provide the reference for lambda expression, here it is our lambda expression, like without the function name, return type and access modifier, we have directly implemented the method body. And so to provide the reference for this lambda expression, compulsory functional interface is required. In our scenario, test interface is our functional interface. So let us see one more example. New package, example 2. We'll create a new package, example 2. We'll close all other tabs. In example 2, we'll just create a new interface, which is nothing but test interface. Here just we will add the interface, right? So I'll just create a interface. Inside this, I'll create a method, add. I'll just create int a comma int b. Here I'll just mention it is a functional interface. So now I'll create new class, which is nothing but test add interface main. Just to mention, like, it is the main method class. So here what we will do is how we will implement. We have the two input parameters, right? We will implement the method using the two parameters. So here the input are a comma b, and here what we need to do, we just need to print the sum of the two numbers, addition of two numbers, right? So here we can use system.out.println. Here sum is nothing but, here we need to add the a plus b. Our lambda expression is ready, but lambda expression compulsory we need to assign the reference of function interface. Here test add function interface is our function interface. So here our assignment is also done for the, means reference is assigned to our function interface. So here just we need to call our method 10 and 20. Here now we need to get the result as 30. Sum is nothing but 30. Yeah, here we have assigned implemented our lambda expression, and we have assigned our function interface to the lambda expression, and we are calling the method using the function interface reference object. So here one thing what we need to remember is, whenever there is a function interface concept, there only lambda expression can be used. Since we here we have the function interface, so here we can use the concept of, sorry, here we have the function interface, so here we can use the lambda expression. So we need to remember, like, always lambda expressions are associated with the functional interfaces. So, important note to be remembered here is whenever functional interface concept is there, then only lambda expressions can be used. And lambda expressions are always associated with the functional interfaces. I hope you got a clear understanding like what is an a lambda expression and what is a functional interface, what is the syntax of lambda expression, and how a functional interface lambda expression can be called using the functional interface. Thank you.